wardrobe malfunctions than I have today.
I don't. Okay. All right. All right.
We have
How's it going, everybody?
a very spooky forecast in effect right now.
Kind of dreary.
It's dreary. Not many folks out by the bean. It certainly feels Halloweenish.
Halloweeny.
Halloweeny. Look at that view, or lack of.
Yeah. What are we? This is a piece of paper up against a camera.
Caitlin, how long is this stuff sticking around?
Well, the wet stuff is only going to be here this morning. Later on today, it's still going to be cloudy, though.
Yeah.
And highs are only going to be in the low 60s today.
You can't even see the top of the Aeon Center there.
You know, I think this was the first time on our show that I've seen the Halloween graphic, too. I feel like we're kind of leaning into it. Yeah.
I like it.
We had a pumpkin carver on today. I was telling Anthony, I think I upset him because I was like, that pumpkin doesn't look real. But I didn't mean it in like it could be actually not real. I think it's a real pumpkin, but it was just such a beautiful pumpkin.
It was the most perfect pumpkin I've ever seen in my life. Because I can see where it almost looked fake. It was that perfect.
Yeah.
And the shade of orange that
right.
it was.
Not a single imperfection in that pumpkin. Yeah, I'm excited. I told Anthony I'm getting ready to host a little Halloween gathering. You know, when you become an adult, and we talked about this just the other, actually I don't think this was on air, but we talk about imposter syndrome as you become an adult.
Yes.
And you mentioned how you pull up to your house and you're like, who's paying for this?
Exactly.
How is this happening? So I have that kind of with, like, when I was a kid in our neighborhood, one of the neighbors would pop open their garage on Halloween. All the kids would go over there. We'd have some apple cider and donuts and kind of hang out. And now as an adult, guess who has to make the magic for my kids? Moi.
Us.
Yes.
I've had the imposter syndrome around the holiday time as well.
Have you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It is kind of, you know, we talk about our actual age and then our brain age, and sometimes I still feel like I'm an immature teenager.
Yeah, I'm stuck at 32. I
32?
think forever. I think that's where I'm going to be mentally.
That's pretty good. That's really good, Caitlin.
You think? Yeah. You're like what, 17 in your brain?
17. Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
If my wife was watching, she'd be like, 15. 15.
Well, yesterday I was in our car. In the car, you can turn it to like make it fart sound, and I was like, this is for literal children.
Your
like,
car?
Yeah, like you put the blinker on and it makes a fart sound in the car. And my kids thought it was hilarious, but I was like, there were adults that
Is it deliberately that, or is that like a funny setting?
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of car is that? Well, we can talk about that offline.
Well, you could probably guess,
awesome.
but yes, you've never heard of that before?
I have a funny little imposter story anecdote. One of my college friends one time said, sometimes I pinch myself at the realization that I'm an adult now. I have money and I can actually just go get McDonald's whenever I want.
Oh, I had that a long time ago.
Like it's almost like the reverse. Like, wow, I can actually do that now.
Yeah.
As a kid,
nobody's going to tell you no.
No one's going to tell you no.
You could stay up all night. Nobody's going to tell you no.
Watch Saturday morning cartoons and eat sugar cereal. We can do all these things now.
Yeah, we probably do it too much.
Hey, Open House Chicago, everybody, returns. This is still on my list. It's been 15 years, and I'm running out of real estate because my kids are getting older. But Open House Chicago, this weekend, 15th season, excuse me. And these are buildings that you can go into and tour. If you're an architecture nerd like me, you can get inside. It's a weekend actually, in fact, where you can get into all these buildings around Chicago. Have there ever been? Are there any buildings on your list where you're like, I've always wanted to see that lobby?
Yes, but I don't know what the building is called.
There's one for me, and I'm in the same boat. But there is a building that was used to here in Chicago to shoot the very first Child's Play horror movie.
Oh.
You know Chucky, the doll, the evil doll.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a really cool old apartment building at the corner of Diversey and Pine Grove.
Oh.
All right, it's right up in Lincoln Park, Lakeview.
Yeah.
And it's one of those old buildings that's got like the cage elevator.
Oh, yeah.
And like the wire scaffolding. You know how like an Embassy Suites, all the Embassy Suites is like it's like a lobby that's like a huge atrium surrounded by all the hotel rooms. It's like an old school version of that, where all the apartment all the apartments are on the outside of this atrium lobby, and from time to time they open up that apartment building.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's always been like top of my list, but I keep wondering if that's going to be open. But anyway, there's all kinds of buildings that are going to be open for access. You're talking about skyscraper rooftops, penthouses, historic landmarks, even breweries.
I love
and
that.
old distilleries, old churches.
Yes. You know, one building, which I don't even know what is inside of it. Is it the champagne building? Like, it looks like a champagne bottle on the top. What is that?
I know, that's 35. That's 35 East Wacker, the Jewelers Building.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've
it looks
never
like a
been in
wedding
there.
cake.
Maybe. I mean,
Wait, the champagne bottle, the Carbide and Carbon building across the street, the street here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you been in there?
Yes.
Is it cool?
Yes.
Ah.
All yeses.
You know
it
what
is
would be
so
fun?
Cool.
Like one of these old buildings to like look at the side profile of the wall. Like if you cut into the wall and see all the different layers, if they had like wallpaper and then paint and like all the history. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like, get in
I
there.
totally agree.
This is fun.
You mentioned. Well, I thought you were talking about the Jewelers Building, which is 35 East Wacker.
Yeah.
And that's the one. It looks like a wedding cake, and it has this, I don't know if it's called a cupola or a tower or something on the very top of it.
Oh.
And Al Capone apparently used to use that. It was called like the Skylight Lounge, and Al Capone used to use it to host parties.
Oh,
and now
that's
it's
so
like an
good.
architectural office, but like to be able to see Chicago from that view and see like whatever's on the ceiling there.
Yes.
That would be insane too.
All the cigar smoke.
Exactly. If those
tinted the
walls, if those walls could talk, kind of thing.
Yes, that's so
man.
fun.
So anyway, it's this weekend.
Okay.
There's 210 different locations that you can go inside, 25 different neighborhoods.
Wow.
Let's see, do any of these locations?
210 spots.
Yeah. Edgewater Beach Apartments. Okay, guys, the pink building. Do you know this one? Caitlin, it's right at the corner. It's right at Hollywood Beach, where DuSable Lakeshore Drive kind of veers onto Hollywood Boulevard. This used to be a very fancy resort on the shores of Chicago. Yes.
Yeah.
In like the gilded, not the gilded age, but like the 1920s.
Edgewater
I want to
Beach.
go in there. That's on my list for sure. Edgewater Beach Apartments, they're pink, and the water of Lake Michigan used to lap up right to the edge
she's
of
cute.
the
She's
it's
really
a very
cute.
very cool building.
They've got an indoor pool.
Yes.
Oh,
I definitely want to see.
Oh.
I definitely want to see the inside.
I
of
have
that.
never seen this building before, but I am intrigued.
Yes.
From the outside, she is very cute.
They have they've filmed a lot of movies there too.
Aw,
Chicago's basically a movie set.
that's so fun, and people
Basically
still live there
movie set.
today.
Yeah, exactly.
The Honeycomb
Yeah.
Apartments are a place that I would.
I
like
want to
to
see
visit
that
inside.
too.
They're probably what, like looking like the 50s or the
corn cobs?
70s inside.
Oh, for sure. Actually,
Yeah.
you know what? It was funny. We do this too. We kind of do the looky-loo thing. There it is
There's
right
the
there.
pretty pink.
Thank you, Brad.
Pink.
Really appreciated that. But yeah, okay.
I want to live there.
You
Look
see
at that
those
place.
chairs, those Adirondacks right there?
Yeah.
So that's all Lakeville, okay? Back in the day, the beach, Lake Michigan, actually went right up to the edge
way.
of that. And there used to be a whole auxiliary. There's another building that no longer exists that was part of that whole complex. It was a very fancy hotel where people would come from all over the world
They need
to visit that.
make a Barbie movie there. That big pink
yeah,
building.
the pink thing.
That looked like a pink.
The
pink
Barbie Dream House.
Beach movie. Yeah.
Yes, I remember all the girls in my class wanted the Barbie Dream House when
Do
we
you
were
remember
young.
that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, with the elevator and stuff. Yeah.
That's above my pay grade. but-
Okay, yeah. Did you know that the sink turns into a bathtub on that thing?
Did you have it? You were one of the lucky girls in the neighborhood to
Yeah,
have
I
it?
got one, and then you guys down the road, we were giving it to our neighbor, and I was like, wait a second, this thing clicks up and opens, and it turns into a bathtub. I never knew. Oh, the possibilities that were missed in that Barbie dream house.
Okay, well, we're waiting for our first guest to hop on. Caitlin,
Yeah.
favorite childhood toy? Favorite childhood toy?
Probably, I loved Barbie. You know how they had life-size Barbie dolls back in the day? Like, not life-size, I guess. They were big Barbie dolls. I think that was probably one. You know what was my favorite? The Spice Girls. We mentioned, like, bands coming back. The Spice Girls Barbie dolls. I got them at Toys R Us.
Oh, wow.
It was like, you got all 5. They smelled good. That was my favorite. What about you?
Okay, you know how Legos, they're like space Legos, town Legos, castle Legos? Is that kind of
No, but
make sense? Does it make sense?
I know Duplo Legos these
Duplo,
days.
those are the big ones for
Yeah,
toddlers.
sure,
Okay,
yes.
yeah. Castle Legos were my jam
Oh.
as a kid. I loved. Anytime I was able to save up my allowance and con my parents into taking me to Toys R Us, it was always a Castle Lego purchase. And I still have them to this day. Jero, my 4-year-old, plays with them on the regular.
Castles.
He builds all kinds of stuff. He likes to build a lot of vehicles. He's more into transportation.
Did you do like the Lego, what are those called? Lincoln Logs?
Lincoln Logs, yeah, we had them. Tinker Toys, I don't think those are...
I bought a
I don't know if those are they used anymore? Do kids still like that old school stuff?
I don't think they like them. I bought them for my kids because I was like, oh, this will be nostalgic. No, it was not. That didn't go well. They come in those big tins, those big things.
That's a shame. That's a shame to hear, because I love you'd think those toys would stand the test of time. I wonder if standards have gone up so much.
Oh, for sure.
That the kids need hey, look, what is this artifact, Mom?
Yeah, these wood sticks.
Yeah. Get me an Xbox.
Exactly. I know.
With wireless controllers. All right, here's something else trending this morning. Chance the Rapper, beloved Chance the Rapper, has turned the red line into the star line on Friday. This was this past Friday. I understand we have some visuals of this. Okay. Chance, ahead of his weekend performance, it included a hometown stop for his tour and a couple of special guests he had. But he partnered with the CTA to take over a Red Line train for a private fan event.
Oh.
You know, Chance the Rapper, he is a true creature of Chicago.
Yeah, he is.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So
and look at how they decked out
it's beautiful.
The inside of that. It's called the Star Line. It looks like it's like a nightclub in there. Although they kept the maps. You see the maps there on the upper right-hand corner?
Oh, yeah. Gotta know where you're going.
You have to. Actually, I always wanted the shower curtain. You know, the CTA has some fun merch.
Oh.
They've got a shower curtain with the whole map on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll see how Maggie feels about that one.
Yeah.
So I guess he had a couple friends and collaborators, Vic Mensa and Jamila Woods. Chance partnered, as Anthony just mentioned, with the CTA to take over this Red Line for a private fan event. Dozens of people gathered at northwest corner of Harrison and Wabash in the morning before boarding the train. So his Starline album artwork, that was his artwork where Chance surprised them. That's so fun.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, how sweet.
Have you ever been on the holiday train?
No, and I wish that, I heard it's not coming back again this year.
What?
Yeah, last year it wasn't happening, and this year I heard it's not happening again.
You know, it's the budget cut stuff.
It might be.
I'm wondering if that's the culprit here.
I did one last year, out in Indiana, and it was cute, but it was like.
In Indiana?
It was pretty lame. Yeah.
It was really
for
hot.
You,
but what about the kids?
No, it was not. They didn't play music. It was just like a train ride. Like, we got on this train. They didn't even put. Listen, we need maybe like a party planner to have some ideas. They didn't put twinkle lights in there. It was just like an old train that you sat on, you sweated inside, because you got your
What was the occasion? Was it a Christmas, like a Polar Express type thing, or was it
Exactly.
Oh, why was it hot?
Well, probably because they want you to be comfortable, but then Santa came, which was really exciting, and he came down the aisle, and then that was it. But there wasn't like if you're gonna do a Santa train, and Santa's coming, he's making a long trip to come out.
All the way from the North Pole.
You gotta decorate the inside of these trains.
Right.
Play some Christmas jingles.
Oh, man.
Have you been on the one in Chicago?
No, I have not.
You never
I've seen it from the outside, and we've tried to get on, but you got to track it. I think there's a tracker, and maybe I dropped the ball there.
Okay, yeah. Maybe they'll come back next year. We'll see.
We shall see. Budgets are tight. We've actually been covering that on Good Day Chicago. There's some legislation going on in Springfield right now to make sure that budget cuts don't happen in the way that they're feared to.
Yeah.
We will keep everyone posted on that. All right, coming up after a short break here, there is a new exhibition at the Newberry Library, which is exploring the history of map making. Okay, so I don't know, I rely so heavily on Google Maps now.
Yeah.
And sometimes Apple Maps to get where I'm going, and this is like the latest iteration in a long line of changes over the centuries when it comes to map making. And the Newberry Library has a new free exhibit coming up where if you're a nerd like me, you're going to want to head over to there and check it out. And we're going to be speaking with the curator of this exhibit when we come back after this short break, everybody.
$10.17. This is the perfect topic for a cloudy, rainy day.
I love it.
You know, go to the library, go look at some
library,
maps.
like a cozy library which smells of rich mahogany.
Oh yeah, cozy up with some coffee.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about this new exhibit that's opening. We're talking about the Newberry Library, which is super fun. You could go there just on a normal day. They've got tours that they'll set up. We were just talking about different
the architecture there,
options they offer. Yeah, the history there. Okay, so they are opening a new program, an exhibition about maps and how maps communicate. So it's called Mapping Outside the Lines, which opened on October 9th, and it shows how map makers have developed a wide variety of lines to bring our world to life. Through these lines, maps rationalize their worldview as they reveal perspectives that are neither universal nor neutral. Mapping Outside the Lines, so this is the juicy part, features dozens of cartographic diagrams, drawings, engravings, and lithographs from the 15th century to the present, alongside artistic reinterpretations of what maps can be. So joining us this morning is David Weimer, Robert A. Holland Curator of Maps and the Director of Herman Dunlap Smith Center for the History of Cartography at the Newberry Library. Yes.
That's right, the map making. David, nice to see you, sir.
Great, it's great to be here. Thanks
All right, we are going to bring like a nerdy topic to life. That's our job right now,
Yeah.
okay? You curated this exhibit. I understand you're actually going to be leading some workshops about maps and map history. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right, so
we have tours and workshops.
Okay, all right. So this is the crash course time. We're gonna be your students, okay? So run us through first of all what folks are gonna see at the Newberry, and like you know what, we're used to Google Maps now, man. So run us through a pitch of like why we should care about this topic.
Yeah, for sure. So the exhibition has some old maps, some new maps, and some artists that are reinterpreting what maps can be and what they mean. And so when you come in, you'll see some lines on the floor that direct you to all the different kinds of lines that show up on maps. So you have lines that show how tall things are, the altitude. You have lines that tell you things like longitude and latitude, borders. You also have lines that show you street networks, river networks, and journeys. And so if you think about the map on your phone, when it tells when you ask it, how do I get to the coffee shop? It will generally just give you a straight line, right? So you just follow that line, you'll get where you want to go. You don't have to think about it. That's a kind of 21st century strip map. And so we have a case of strip maps from the 17th century to the present that are also maps that they don't put north of the top, they just put where to go at the top of the map. And so you just follow that line, you get where you want to go.
You get where you want to go, like a treasure map.
That's right.
Exactly. Sorry, continue.
The treasure's always coffee.
Well, okay, my question is, how did this begin? So this is what I'm assuming. You guys have this beautiful display of these historic maps and you want to share them with the world. Is that kind of how this exhibition started, and then you crafted these displays based on that?
For sure. So we have hundreds of thousands of maps from the 15th century to the present.
Wow.
And partly what I was trying to think about is something that will help bring people into thinking about maps, that people that might not think more about their maps than what they see on their phone, but also people that love maps and think about maps all the time. And one of the ways I was thinking about that is something I've been interested for a few years now are artists that work on maps. And so rather than starting with a blank page or a blank canvas, they start with a map and they draw on it or cut it up and make a collage out of it, or do something else. And those are, I think, great ways of kind of registering what maps mean to people now. That, sometimes people cringe when they see a map that's been cut up and pasted and turned into something else. And that cringing is a kind of reflection of what maps still mean to people, that they feel a little queasy when they see something cut up like that.
I can relate to that feeling, actually.
Exactly. And so you'll see a map, a kind of contour line map that's been turned into a portrait. You'll see a map of Mexico City that's been turned into a wounded bird. You'll see a collage of road maps and magazine advertisements that Robert Rauschenberg did in the 1970s. So there's a whole range.
Let me ask you this. You said that the Newberry has maps that date all the way back to the 15th century. Did I get that right?
Yep.
Okay. So what are some of the most fascinating artifacts that are housed in the library?
Yeah, so the library has hundreds of thousands of maps, but we have books and all kinds of things from we have a fragment of the Iliad. I think that's our earliest object on a papyrus, I think. And we have in the show we have a 15th century it's a Port Land chart from 1436, so it's a nautical chart for the Mediterranean. We have a copy of the Popol Vuh, so a really important Mayan manuscript. So we have all kinds of things. The First Folio of Shakespeare. So the library is really, really wide-ranging and capacious. I'm in charge of the maps, but we have lots of things for everyone here.
What is, in your mind, the most fascinating or precious map-related artifact that you've come across in your time at the Newberry?
It's a good question. There are things that are, precious is always kind of in the eye of the beholder. I try to love all my children equally.
Diplomatic answer.
But it depends a lot on what you're interested in and how I'm feeling that day. So, sometimes it's something that isn't, expensive, but is really interesting and I haven't seen somewhere else. And so, an example of that is the river map that you had a picture up earlier. It's a map of the Danube that instead of being a square piece of paper, rectangular piece of paper, folds out into that section of 60 miles of the Danube. So it's kind of curving and meandering like the river does. But other days, it might be the 1524 map of Mexico City that was published in Cortez's account of the conquest of New Spain. So or the 15th century Portland chart. So it depends what is precious to me on a given day. It depends on my
Sure.
mood and how I'm feeling. But there's something for everyone here.
So let's talk about a little something for everyone. I guess there's going to be music involved with your exhibition. So John Cage score, why is there music at this map exhibition? How are they connected?
Yeah, so we were really lucky to get on loan from the MCA this score by John Cage. So John Cage was a kind of experimental artist and musician in the 20th century, and his scores don't look like Beethoven's scores. So a lot of times they'll have, so his famous piece is, 4:33, which is just 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence. And so the score is just rests. And the score that's in our show is called A Dip in the Lake. And what it is a couple hundred sets of addresses. And that's all the score is. It doesn't tell you what to do. It doesn't tell you what it should sound like. It's just pairs and triplets and quartets of addresses.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah.
How is this
And
stuff? How do you guys preserve the? I'm so curious about how you guys preserve these artifacts. I know that one's on loan, but you mentioned you have a fragment of the Iliad. Okay, that dates back what 2,000 years, more than 2,000 years.
Yeah, it's about. I think it's probably 1,800 years old. Or
1,800 years old.
Yeah,
You've got
you
got a Mediterranean map, nautical map from the year 1436. You said.
Yep.
What is the process to preserve and maintain those?
Yeah, so we have a great conservation team here that keeps on top of all of that, and it depends a lot on what it's made of. So the 1436 map, yep, on the screen there is made of vellum, so it's made of animal skin.
Oh.
And generally, for all our materials we keep it in part of the building that has consistent humidity, consistent temperature, so kind of keep humidity at 50%. And that is really the changes in humidity and temperature that tend to damage objects like that, because it's like a piece of leather, it will swell and contract at different temperatures.
Yeah.
Actually, the most fragile stuff is really paper made between like 1890 and 1930. When they really started using wood pulp paper, and that's really acidic, and that is just destroying itself every day. Whereas something like, a map from the 18th century actually is, and books from the 18th century are very robust. The paper those are made of is more like the shirt I'm wearing. It's made
nice.
of linen and cotton, and so they're just happy to hang out in the nice weather inside, and they'll be good to go for centuries to come.
What is the fragment of the Iliad on? What kind of material is that? And did Homer actually write it, or is it like an original copy, or what?
So it's on papyrus, which is another kind of paper-like substrate. I would have to look up when it actually dates to. I think it dates from the 2nd or 3rd century.
Wow.
That's
after
really cool.
after year zero. So, so it's not written by Homer, and there's no kind of manuscripts or books that are kind of in Homer's hand or kind of attributed to him. But there are lots of different fragments and full manuscripts that date from different periods, and so it's all the transmission of Homer is really interesting, and there's lots of versions and lots of editions and lots of fragments that circulate, and so we have one little piece of that.
Wow.
David, I wanted to ask the history of the Newberry Library, because I did take a tour years ago, and I'm trying to remember, but there was some connection between the Chicago fire and this library and the protecting of the books back during the fire. Is there a section of the library that was kind of where all of the books were held? Can you talk on that a little bit?
Luckily for us, we were not. We weren't yet founded when the fire happened.
Okay.
But the building that was here, so the kind of plot where the Newberry is now, the building that was there was the only building that survived this area of the city during the fire.
Okay, that's what it was.
Kind of then summarily knocked that building down to build the library. So They weren't precious about that old building, but there's a plaque. They left a plaque that say there was a building here that survived the
That
fire.
may be what you're
So
thinking.
maybe that's
of.
the connection that I saw.
Yeah.
I remember they mentioned something about like there's a wing of the library that like has no windows, and that's where a lot of the books are held or stored,
Oh.
or there's artifacts in that section. I don't know. Maybe my brain is not remembering.
Nope, that's right. So in the 80s, the main building that we have was too small for all the books and all the people, and so they built a new building that attached to the main building that's just for the books, and that's the one that is kept at cooler than most people want to sit and work in, and a constant humidity, and there's no water in that building. There's no sprinklers or anything, because leaks are pretty dangerous for books.
Oh, yeah.
And so their books all live there, and they're very happy, and they come out and they're happy to meet people when they come into the library, but they're in a kind of attached but different building.
Before we let you go, David, what is the process if someone wants to come in and check out one of these artifacts for themselves? Is that even possible, or is it one of those things where the public has to stick with the public exhibitions?
No, you can't leave with anything in the library, so we're non-circulating. But
Yeah.
anyone can come in. You just have to be over 14. You come in and get a reader's card. They'll give you, they'll check your, kind of get a photo ID. You'll create an account, and then you just come up and you can request pretty much anything in our collection. So if you want to see that first folio of Shakespeare, we'll bring that out. If you want to see the papyrus, Iliad, you bring that out. If you want to see a strange 20th century folding map that's dear to my heart, we can bring that out too. So, yeah, there's not really any restrictions on what you can see once you're in the building, but you just have to come and make a card and go on up.
That was something that stuck out to me too, I gotta say, during this tour, was watching in that room that you're talking about. It's this big, beautiful room with these giant tables and people sitting there with these documents sprawled out on these tables. I don't know if they were studying or just enjoying themselves, but like just looking at these artifacts and reading these books, looking at these maps, just for the time being. And then they're gonna be sent back and packed up safely.
Yeah, I just love it. I love that there's this archive right here in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's a Gold Coast neighborhood. All right, before we let you go, David, if folks want to check out this map exhibit for themselves, what do they need to know? I know it opened on the 9th of October. How long do they have?
They have till Valentine's Day.
Oh, nice.
So we're open Tuesday to Saturday. The gallery's open, I think, 10 to 6 or 10 to 7. And then, yeah, they can come on in. Check our hours on the website, though, because some days we end up having to close. We also have 2 great public programs coming up on November 6th. Tanika Johnson, who just won the MacArthur Genius Grant, will be talking about the Folded Map Project and doing a workshop. And then on November 15th, we have this great artist, Sandy Rodriguez, who's coming, and that's a kind of Saturday, and you'll get to paint some maps, draw some maps for yourself, and kind of think about art and maps together.
All right, well, thank you so much. Can't wait to get out there and see all that you have to offer. And I think this was a very enjoyable, informational, and exciting interview. We really brought it, to life.
We delivered. Thank you, David. Appreciate it, sir.
Great. No, thank you.
All right, we're back with more Chicago Now right after this.
Fox Local.
Welcome back. It's 10:35 and it's time to talk about the 11th annual Arts in the Dark Halloween Parade, a family-friendly event featuring unique floats, spectacle puppets, and all forms of creative performances. It's going to be happening this Saturday, October 18th. From 6 to 8 p.m. along the historic State Street with a step off on Randolph Street. So joining us, this is Mark Kelly. He's the Arts in the Dark Parade co-founder and artistic director. And from what I understand, believe that this year is going to be a little different than previous years.
Well, it's always different because this is a parade unlike any other in Chicago. No politicians, no sponsorship floats, just the creative work of the city and its artists and its cultural life. So people are creating all the time, so every year different floats, puppets, spectacle, music, theater, dance. There'll be a 50-foot cosmic spirit serpent, a 40-foot glowworm, mechanized, motorized bathtubs. There'll be guilds, there'll be 125 photographers marching, celebrating what they do as photographers, and they're going to be a paparazzi unit, so as they come down the parade route on State Street, it'll be flashing, flashing, flashing. At the same time, they're going to document the parade from inside and then create an exhibit afterwards. So those are just 95 groups, 4,500 performers, and it's all creative work of Chicago.
4,500 performers?
Yep.
Wow.
We're looking at some images from past years. The creativity on display is remarkable. Honestly, actually, some of these installations, I don't want to call them installations, they're not, because this thing is moving and it's temporary, but it reminds me of like a Burning Man type like a vibe there. I just saw some characters from Star Wars. How do you recruit all the creative talent that make this thing happen each year? What's the process?
Well, it's not hard to recruit because people want to be on State Street.
Sure.
The number of cultures being represented coming from, whether it's from Chinatown or Little Village or the Korean community, the list goes on. And everyone wants to be on State Street to show who they are and what they're about. There's very few nighttime parades in Chicago, and this is one of the few parades that doesn't have any commercial part of it, so it feels very pure, and so especially neighborhood cultural groups just flock to this event.
I'm excited because I've never heard of a Halloween parade before. Obviously, this is the 11th, so you've done it in the past. But I'm just saying, generally speaking, you don't think parade and Halloween together. As a parent of young kids, is this an event for all ages, or are there some kind of spooky things that maybe the littles shouldn't be at?
Well, first of all, I would say kids want a little spooky. Is it frightening? No, it is absolutely a kid-friendly event.
Okay.
So you mentioned Burning Man. We're a little bit of Burning Man, Mardi Gras, but it's also very much a Chicago event and very kid-friendly. So we had over 100,000 people at the parade last year as an audience. And that was filled with the diversity of the city, watching it, lots of families. And I'll tell you, if you go onto social media, you can't find a complaint about this parade. You only hear and see love, except for the fact that it's so crowded that it gets challenging to take it all in because there's so many people wanting to watch the parade.
What does it do to you kind of alluded to the fact that it makes it special that there's not politicians, there's not people with their banners advertising a certain, there's not like the JP Morgan Chase, some marketing executive is like waving to the crowd. Come on, right? There's something pure about this.
So no branded T-shirts and people passively waving, but everyone is performative. Everyone is performing, and many of our groups have had to learn how do you bring performance to a parade because you're moving, you're not stationary. So groups have had to sort of take in and think through the choreography, the costumes, the dance, to bring it to life, and they're doing it brilliantly. And there's a message behind all this. It's not just the fun of the moment, the collective joy, if you will. It's to remind all of us that part of what makes Chicago a great city is the cultural and creative ferment that exists within the city. So this parade is celebrating the great artistry of Chicago. Whether it's in Millennium Park or it's in a Chicago Park District, somewhere far from the center of the city, neighborhood groups, artists. We have guilds of architects. 100 architects are building architectural headdresses, DIY, inspired by Chicago's built environment.
Wow.
And they were parading in a mashup with a gospel choir, the Mark Hubbard and the Voices. So modern gospel was born in Chicago. Modern architecture was born in Chicago. So then we have this mashup coming together. And so it has deep meaning. It's not just the fun of the moment.
And it's not, you wouldn't classify as a Halloween parade either. It doesn't sound.
No, well, we're riffing off of, we think of Halloween as the artist's holiday. So donning costumes and masks, wrestling with the spirits, light fading, darkness looming, sort of a portal into the artist's sensibility, but it's not just a Halloween parade. So we have all kinds of ethnic traditions beyond Halloween coming into the parade, but we're riffing off of this sort of moment. There's something in the air in Halloween that
I think we all know what you're talking about.
You know, it's intangible, but it's there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did see some bands in these photos. Are these bands from local schools, or how did you gather those different artists? And also, how many are you guys going to have? Is it heavily music based? You mentioned some singers as well.
Well, almost every one of the 95 groups has sound.
Oh,
so
okay.
whether it's DJs or live music, it's only a handful where there is no sound. But I think there's 18 musical groups.
Wow.
So several Chicago State University's band, they are so good. They're in it. The Kelly High School, Lane Tech High School, a number of drum corps are in this. There's a Caribbean-based band, hip-hop music.
Wow.
There's just a whole spectrum of music in the parade. We also have about 16, 17 dance companies. Again, across the spectrum, Trinity Dance, the revered Irish dance company, is bringing their entire professional dance company with younger dancers into the parade. So, you know, if you like what you saw in one group, be prepared, because it'll be a surprise again.
Wow.
It's not. You know, parades are pretty formulaic in this country and in this city. I would argue that parading is an art form largely lost in American culture. If you look at the history of human culture, the time of spectacle and parading would be a precious time in a community, and also a time of sort of the normal Joe sort of taking to the streets and sort of making fun of the hierarchy above them. It was a time of expression. And so we're trying to bring that back. Our North Star is Mardi Gras, Carnival, but we believe parading should be considered a form of street theater, and we're trying to bring that back as we bring this funky parade to Chicago.
That's super cool. I really love everything about that. Mark, what is your recommendation, not just for families, with regard to the viewing experience? Is it one of those things like, hey, be in place by 6 p.m. no later, take in all 2 hours of this thing? Or is it one of those things where it doesn't matter where you are along the route, show up any 15-minute segment, you're going to be wowed? Give us kind of the landscape there.
Well, first of all, you know, come early. You don't want to watch 15 minutes of this parade. You want to watch all 2 hours. And if you get there at 6, you're going to have a difficult time taking it in, because it'll be so crowded.
100,000 people there.
So I would strongly encourage people. First of all, traffic is going to be very difficult that day. There's the No Kings protest during the day.
Oh, that's right.
Open house is taking place.
Yes, we just talked about open house. Yeah.
Wacker is closed. It's staging for the parade. State Street closes at 5. you know, I would take public transportation if you can, or even park and then find your way, because it's going to be difficult. But I would get there early, and you know, generally we've said in the past at the southern end of the route that there tends to be more room, but last year there wasn't room anywhere. So.
Where can people go to get the map? I know as a mom, I want
Just go to artsinthedark.com.
Okay.
The map is on there. The parade starts at Randolph and it goes to Van Buren on State. So it's pretty, 7 blocks.
Heart of the Loop.
Yep.
Right smack dab to the heart of the loop.
So fun.
Our sponsors, Goodwill, because you go to Goodwill to build your costume.
Sure.
The Chicago Loop Alliance, and they're thrilled that this is on State Street and that they get to sort of celebrate with us in what this is about.
I love this.
Are you going to
I didn't
dress
tell
up?
you this, Caitlin. Maggie's out of town this week, so it's just me and the boys.
Perfect.
This might be a good little
event.
urban adventure for the 3 of us.
Yes. 6 to 8 p.m.
My
and go home,
4-year-old
go to
is
bed.
so excited about Halloween.
Yes.
I mean, he asks every day how many days are left to Halloween. This could be really, really great. So you said artsinthepark.com?
Arts in the Dark.
Artsinthedark.com.
Yep.
Where you can find all the information. But it steps off 6 to 8 this Saturday night. This is a major production. Does this start all year? Is it like
It's all year. Just working with the city and city officials. Our partner is the city of Chicago.
Yeah.
So ensuring the safety of everyone, just securing the space, recruiting, building this. It's a year-long journey to get to this point.
Mark,
oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, if someone's interested in participating, you said it's a year-long, you know, planning process. Where should they go to get in contact with who needs to?
Go to their website, and
Okay.
one of the buttons is participate.
Oh.
And
Set in your application.
anyone who believes they're part of the creative life of the city should be in this parade.
Oh, wow. Okay.
One more question before we go to break. I feel like we're going to be talking about ICE enforcement when we come back with another reporter from Chalkbeat. During these times right now, where you know, the identity of the city, at least nationally, has been so defined by everything going on with the Trump administration and ICE enforcement here locally, how important is this event with regard to the context, the national context right now?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. So 2 parts of it. One, we don't want, we have several groups where maybe immigrants had been part of it in the past. We don't want anyone to put themselves at risk. And so whether that's the audience or the crowd, we're working very closely with the Chicago Police Department to ensure it's a safe event. But some people have said, well, maybe the event shouldn't take place, and we're not going to let you know, outsiders define who our city is and how we represent ourselves. We're surely would never consider canceling this. We're proud of of the city, of its creative life, and we'll have a safe event, and we go on despite some of the challenges that are out there.
All right.
Mark Kelly, thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll be there too.
Yeah.
I think this is a perfect
Hopefully the rain
plan
will
for
hold
us.
off for you guys.
Exactly. Thank you very much for being here. artsinthedark.com for all the specifics. All right, we're going to have a quick break right now, but when we come back, we are going to be speaking with a reporter from Chalkbeat Chicago. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chalkbeat Chicago. There is a state mandated non-citizen advisory board that has to be installed, okay, based on state law for the Chicago Public School District, but that has not happened yet. Okay, and in this environment that we just kind of mentioned, we're going to get an update from one of their reporters on what the holdup is and why Chicagoans, many Chicagoans think that it's important for a non-citizen advisory board to be part of the Chicago Public Schools ecosystem. So that is when we come back. Stay with us.
welcome back. We're waiting for our Chalk Beat guest, Chicago. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about Taco Bell, Anthony's favorite
My favorite topic, which
So-
made the news today. I always love when Taco Bell makes the news and they
Yeah.
give me the read and the teleprompter.
Oh, heck yeah.
You got to do it.
Okay, so I guess Taco Bell has added a new chicken menu item in Frank's Red Hot collab. So Taco Bell is expanding its chicken menu options through a new partnership with Frank's Red Hot. The chain announced on October 14th the launch of 3 new food items, the return of its chicken strips, plus a sauce collaboration with Frank's Red Hot. So this came out yesterday. The latest chicken items include a burrito, you can see it here pictured, soft taco, nacho fries, as well as Frank's Red Hot Diablo sauce. The full lineup will be available at Taco Bell starting October 16th. So I guess the full lineup will be here tomorrow.
It's like just when you think a restaurant can't do anything better,
yeah.
they come up with a collaboration with Frank's Red Hot.
Can I ask
You know what
you
I mean?
something? Yeah.
It's like they're just, at this point, they're showing off.
What else can they come up with? Are you on the board of decision making, Anthony, secretly?
I should be. You know what else made the news today? And that's what I thought that story was going to be. That obviously blew
I've got a
my
question
mind
about
too.
the Red Hot before we move.
Oh, yeah,
to
it's
the next-
amazing.
But
Yeah,
I
go
love
for
your
it.
next story. Is there a meatball recipe where you put Frank's Red Hot and grape jelly together?
Not that I've ever heard of.
No? Are those
Swedish meat.
Are those the Swedish meatballs recipe?
Grape jelly and Frank's Red Hot makes Swedish meatballs.
'Cause, you know, I told you I'm making this huge Halloween party. I was thinking about making meatballs, those like sweet ones that you stick a little toothpick in.
Sure, I love
and I was
those.
trying to like wrap
And you
my
have it
brain
in a
the
little
recipe.
hot crock pot. Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
That's a crowd pleaser, Caitlin.
Isn't it? But I'm pretty sure it's
I'm
Frank's
coming.
Red Hot and
I'm
grape
coming.
jelly.
That's all there is to it. I'll be there.
Please
Just won't
come.
say.
Please come.
Okay, we're gonna have to. I'm curious about that because that sounds super easy and super delicious.
Yeah.
We have both in our fridge.
Do you? We'll give it a little
I was
taste test.
I just used Frank's Red Hot 2 nights, not even 2
You
nights.
put it on your eggs?
I put it on some pizza.
Oh,
So
spicy.
good.
Oh.
So good.
Okay.
Taco Bell also made the news. They did a whole study about which fast food restaurants have the fastest drive-thrus. Taco Bell, fastest drive-thru with an average customer experience of only 4 minutes
Really?
from start to finish. 4 minutes in the drive-thru.
No way. It's because everything's already ready. Everything's already ready.
Yeah,
It's been sitting there for a minute.
Okay, well, maybe that speaks to what came in last. Do you
Uh-oh.
have any guesses? What's the longest drive-thru of the major fast food?
Chick-fil-A.
Yes! Ding, ding, ding.
But the
Chick-fil-A.
customer service, top notch. Those people are happy.
So Chick-fil-A has an average of 7 minutes in the drive-thru.
Dang, that's kind of
But
a long time.
It's kind of a long time because you think drive-thru.
Yeah,
Boom, boom,
right.
boom. Yeah,
They're like, pull up here and wait.
Exactly.
And I'll bring it to you.
Exactly. You got to pull off.
Yeah.
Somebody runs it out to you. So at the same time, though, Caitlin, they still, for I think the 7th or 8th year in a row, won the overall customer satisfaction survey.
The Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A.
Because everybody's so, like I said,
98%.
the sweetest.
It's.
You roll down your window and they're like, hi. And it's like the middle of winter. It's snowing and freezing outside.
I will say I've had some rough interactions with some Taco Bell.
I thought you were going to say Chick-fil-A.
No.
Taco Bell folks, yeah.
But some of them have been great. They'll throw a huge handful of the sauce packs for you.
Do you guys keep the sauce packs in your fridge?
We have from time to time, sure.
Have you?
I love the little sayings on them. Help, I'm being. Oh, do we have our Chalk Beat reporter? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Adina. We've been keeping our Chalk Beat reporter. Rima Amin, can you hear us?
I can, yes.
I'm so sorry to keep you waiting.
No, you're fine.
We were talking about Taco Bell, not expecting you to be on the line. Okay, we understand, with all the ICE presence here in the city of Chicago, it is kind of adding a layer of complexity to a state-mandated non-citizen advisory board that is supposed to be installed by the Chicago Public School Board. I understand there's a delay here. Will you kind of run us through the background we need to know here?
Sure, and I will just say I love Taco Bell deep in my soul, so I didn't mind
enjoyed that.
at all.
Good.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Sure.
Yeah, so the Non-Citizen Advisory Board is something that is enshrined in state law. State lawmakers created this board when they created Chicago's elected school board a few years ago. And what the law says is that the mayor is supposed to appoint a board that is meant to advise the Chicago elected school board on matters that impact students who are not citizens, immigrant students, and it's also generally supposed to give a voice to Chicagoans who are not citizens. Because they cannot vote. They can't actually vote in school board elections, in Chicago. So this has been in state law for a few years. The elected and right now elected and appointed board, it's a mix right now, will be fully elected in 2027. This mixed board was sworn in January, and really since before then there have been advocacy, at least one prominent advocacy organization that has been pushing for the mayor to appoint this board. The mayor's office has not done so, and now that we are in a very heightened focused moment on immigration, and with the kind of more aggressive ICE actions that we're seeing across the city, there are parents and advocates that are upset that the board hasn't been, that this non-citizen advisory board hasn't been created yet, but are also continuing to push the mayor's office to appoint one.
So I can imagine as a parent, if you had your child in school, you want them to have the support that they need from the teachers. How involved does this panel of people get with the kids directly? Or is it more so just talking to the people who are making the decisions?
The way that state law is written, it sounds like it's more focused on talking to the people who make the decisions, so the people who sit on the Chicago School Board. And for some context, the school board in the past has had various committees. They've had a special education advisory committee that was active under a previous board. They also have, so that's just one example of kind of this advisory committee that meets in public, talks about issues that pertain to that committee, and these committees are not meant to take actual policy action or formally vote on something, but they're meant to kind of advise the board and advise on issues that the board might take up in the future. And so it seems as if that was the intent of creating this non-citizen advisory board, as kind of a way to I guess lift up the voices of this group of people who, again, are not permitted to vote in local elections.
Rima, we're about out of time, but before we let you go, what is the mayor's office and what are the school board leaders saying about what happens from here and the time frame on actually creating this overdue thing that a lot of people think needs to happen yesterday?
Yeah, so this is important. The mayor's office has said, this is, of course, on their radar. And, they didn't really comment on why it hasn't been created up to this point. But they said, given the heightened immigration activity, they are trying to protect people who are not citizens or people who are interested in this advisory board, and trying to kind of protect that application process so that folks are not targeted.
Right.
They didn't say targeted by who, but my educated guess is perhaps by federal immigration agents. And so that's kind of all they've said so far. The school board president also said that we should be hearing more about the application process in the coming weeks.
Makes sense. Rima, thank you so much. Sorry for the delay there. We appreciate it.
No, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, have a great one. All right, it's 11:01. We're a little overdue here, but we have another hour of Chicago Now coming up right after this.
Chicago will.
Welcome to the 11 o'clock hour of Chicago Now. We have arrived. It is hump day.
I know, yeah, I'm feeling good. Actually, even with the rainy weather and stuff going on outside, inside we're feeling okay. We have a lot of stuff coming up.
Yes, we do. And speaking of feeling good, let's talk about looking good. Lisa Ray McCoy is in the building with her sexy self. She walked in, I was like, just wow.
Everyone's taking pictures already.
Already, yeah. She's going to talk about the hit BET series, The Family Business. Season 6 comes out October 23rd, and she joins us in studio. We'll have that coming up. We're also talking about Chicago Fashion Week. We had some models on the show yesterday. They were chef's kiss for sure.
Come on.
Yeah, but this time we're talking about something a little different. Surround sound of fashion. This returns for its 17th annual fashion show and concert. It's happening this Sunday, October 19th at Sin City Studios. We're going to talk about that. But first, we got to talk about some stuff that's trending.
Yeah, so one big headline going on right now is Chicagoland ice sighting page. I think you've probably used it in your reporting. I know I've come across it a couple of times. It's been taken down by Facebook at the Justice Department's request. So Facebook, it says it removed one of its the city's most active pages for reporting ice sightings on Tuesday after being asked to do so. This page, Ice Sighting Chicagoland, has more than 80,000 members. I guess I didn't really realize how many people were following on there, and was incredibly active as street arrests by federal agents accelerated in the past month under Operation Midway Blitz.
Yeah. What was interesting, I think, about the takedown, at least the reason of why they said that they decided to take this page down, they said that it made it very difficult for ICE agents to do their jobs, and in fact, they were doxxed. So they'd be out there doing their job, and all of a sudden, all of these people show up because of this page. So apparently, the page was doing what the page was supposed to do. It was supposed to spot ICE, but there are several pages. So I don't know how they're going to do this, because there are several pages across Chicagoland for different communities, even Northwest Indiana, that are reporting that they're seeing ICE sightings. They have the videos up there. People are following them, making sure. I think the real thing here that people need to take away from this is, as long as you're following the ICE agents, in my opinion, to make sure that they're not abusing citizens, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think the trouble comes when you're, being aggressive and trying to fight with the ICE agents. But you're entitled, to have your opinion and to say whatever you want to say. So I don't see anything wrong with that part. But they were saying in this case that it was really spurring violence on the street. So you have to take that into accountability.
Yeah, you're right. You're on a public sidewalk. You can safely record. And actually, some lawmakers are encouraging it, like J.B. Pritzker, our governor. He's asking people to continue to take their cell phones out and record some of the arrests that are going on, so they could use that as evidence for later on. Yeah, it's kind of a complicated subject, and things are just changing and changing by day. I know I was over at the Broadview Ice facility this morning. They took down that fence, and so it kind of poses the question, okay, who's going to be now making sure that no one's getting into the ice facility, because there's still ISP squad cars there as well.
All right, we also want to talk about this. 43rd Ward Alderman Timmy Knutson is actually co-hosting a kid-centric No Kings rally in Oz Park alongside moms. This is happening in his community. It's happening at 10 o'clock in the morning. We got to figure out the exact date. Alderman Knutson, are you there? Can you hear us? I think you may be muted. You may want to check and see if you're muted there. It always happens on Zoom.
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
There you go, Tim.
Good. I'm so happy that, we were just happened to be texting and you were like, I'm on Fox tomorrow. I'm like, no, you're on today. So I'm happy that we were able to work this out. Thank you so much for being with us. Tell us why you came up with this idea.
Yeah, we were meeting with a lot of families in the 43rd Ward, a new group called Moms for Democracy. And it came up that many families did not feel comfortable bringing their kids to the protest downtown because of the presence of ICE in our city. So we said, why not build a kid-centric No Kings rally in Oz Park on Saturday, October 18th, prior to the big No Kings rally downtown?
Why do you think it's important, or why do you think moms or families are encouraging their kids to, be exposed to this so early in life?
I think right now, and I'm in the schools all the time, and schools are speaking about themes of democracy, themes of freedom. How can a school talk about what's going on in the city without saying that some of your classmates might be at risk? So kids want to be involved. The kid-centric rally that we're holding will be that. It's going to spread joy and hope ahead of the big rally. We're going to have signs being created. We're going to have chalk, donuts. And then we're also going to do a march around Oz Park. And I think it's worth noting, if I might, that, Oz Park is based on the Wizard of Oz, which has at its theme that this wizard, this fearful leader, was really just someone with a mic behind a curtain. And that's what I think we're feeling right now in Chicago at the moment, where authoritarianism has come to our streets. So everyone wants to stand up, and kids shouldn't be held out from that.
Are you hoping that, because I will admit, as a parent myself, my child is very young, she's only 2, and then we have a 6-year-old in our household as well, but they kind of know, some things. They ask questions about, some of the things, because we are a news family. We're constantly watching news. Do you think this is an easier way to have that conversation with your kids versus, sitting them down and trying to explain it, having it in the way that you're hosting this No Kings rally?
I think it is. And I think it's important that we continue to tie the concept of democracy with hope and joy for kids. Kids know a lot more and soak in a lot more than we all give them credit for. So it's important for us to fine tune those lessons, especially with everything going on right now in the city. So, my hope is that we're going to keep this joyful. It's definitely an action-based event, and we're going to show the kids how to peacefully march and protest. But my goal is to also just make it a great morning for a lot of families that might already be in Oz Park at our amazing playground.
I hate to ask this question, but it just seems like no place is safe, really, because we've seen federal agents outside of schools and Navy Pier, places where families and young kids are present. Do you guys have a safety plan kind of under control, or do you think that families are hesitant to go to a large-scale event like this?
I really appreciate that question, because safety was part of the reason we're creating this, so families have another option other than downtown. But at the same time, this is still an event. So I've also heard, okay, is this safety-based event safer? What we're going to have is community marshals. We are very privileged in that we have not had substantiated ICE incidents in the 43rd Ward yet. And we're going to have a lot of community members who are there just to watch what's going on, patrol the perimeter. And on a Saturday, this park is classically very busy. A good amount of Park District presence. And so I have confidence that with our safety marshals, with the crowd that's already always in the park, and with the fact that we're not doing anything too rambunctious here, we will have a safe event.
I do want to ask you a follow-up to what you just said. You said there's been no ICE presence there yet in your particular ward. We were just talking about this Facebook page, where people in Chicagoland were going to say, hey, ICE is being spotted here. We were just talking about it being taken down. What's your message to people that are in your ward in the event that they do see ICE activity? What do you think they should do?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I also appreciate the lead, because I want to plug a toolkit that we created, a way to support immigrant families in Chicago. And this toolkit is being updated by myself and my team daily as volunteer opportunities and also the places where we report information change. Things are changing every day, as is what happens in a crisis. So this toolkit, which we're spreading broadly, you can find it easily on my social media. It's at Timmy Knutson 43. But there's many ways to get involved, and there's also additional levels of know your rights. We believe knowing your rights is knowing your neighbor's rights. That comes in handy should you run into an incident. And I do just want to stress one last time that these things are changing daily. We are updating this daily, and we'll continue to do so.
I don't know if you can answer this, but I think maybe a lot of parents might be coming to your event and thinking like, oh, since yours is a little bit more relaxed, a little more upbeat, it might be okay to bring my kids over to the official No Kings rally. Do you have advice to parents or families who are thinking of taking that path, maybe going to the official ones with their young children?
Yeah, I know many families who will be going to the No Kings rally downtown. I think that question is totally a personal one, up to parents. We do know, and all older people, not all older people, we shouldn't say all ever, many older people will be sending out the information on this rally, which is a safe, peaceful protest that will have a good amount of security around it, like any downtown Chicago event would. Our police, the Chicago Police Department, under the leadership of Superintendent Snelling, They know how to handle these large-scale events. They've been really stand up in this situation, a confusing situation where we have federal law enforcement in the city. And I do believe that this the downtown event will be safe as well. I understand, that being said, why everyone is on edge. This is this is a moment where we're seeing a lot of unpredictability. So I do think it ends up being a personal decision for families and individuals whether you feel safe going to the downtown event.
Unrelated, I have to ask you this because the last time you and I had an interview, it was about this rat birth control and this being tested out in your ward. How is it working? Do you have any results of it so far?
Tia, yeah, thank you for asking. And I think it's a good example of, as older people, we walk and chew gum at the same time, right? We react to crazy things like ICE being in our city, but we continue the good work within our communities. The rat contraception pilot is underway. The rats are currently eating the pellets. We have video footage provided to us by the Lincoln Park Zoo to show that the pellets are being ingested. And now we're at month 2. Scientists tell us that the correct time to collect data on the number of rats is around month 4 to 5, because once a rat ingests the contraception, it takes some time to kick into the next time they would be birthing litters. Not to go too deep into it while on air.
That's fine. That's fine. It's breakfast time for some people, so that's fine.
We will be updating everybody. It's a really exciting pilot. I think it's innovative. And a better solution to something that the city's been doing for years with not enough impact.
Perfect. Well, it has been a pleasure talking to you. We do want to point out that this rally will begin at 10 o'clock in the morning near the Tin Man on October 18th, right at Oz Park. Timmy Knutson, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you both. Hope to see you there.
All right. Well, coming up next, let's see. Am I right? I want to make sure I'm right. Are we talking to Lisa Ray McCoy? I'm so excited for this interview. Yes, we are. We are talking to Lisa Ray in the building in all of her amazingness. She's had a lot going on lately. So, yeah, we're going to talk to her about the new season of The Family Business. We'll have it right after this break. Listen, I was up all night getting excited about this interview. We are talking to Lisa Ray McCoy in the building. You know her as an actress. She's a Chicago native. I always think of her from the Players Club, Diamond, still just as sexy now than you were then. And then, of course, the BET series, The Family Business. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be with us this morning.
Absolutely. I'm home, and when I'm home, I want to see and do everything and feel the energy and feel the love, because I certainly get it when I'm home.
What's some of the first? Oh, I'm sorry.
That's exactly,
That's
exactly what I was going to ask. What are some of the first things you do when you're able to visit?
I eat. You know, I have Harold's Chicken, White Castles, Lim's Barbecue, Goose Island, Lawrence's, Italian Fiesta, Lou Malnati, Garrett's Popcorn. I am in the grocery store. I'm cooking. I'm gaining 2 or 3 pounds.
I don't see where the food is going.
I'm sitting on it.
You have, okay, got understood. Another sister right here get you. So I know what you're talking about. But in all seriousness, you know, watching you all of these years, you have not changed. You look exactly the same. What is your routine? What is your regimen?
Let me tell you this. I saw some pictures of me. You know how they always come about, you know, saying the 80s girls or the 90s girls or whatever are still, you know, sexy. And I saw a picture of me and I said, I don't ever want to be that small again. I had some jeans that made me go, what size was I, 2? You know what I mean? So I'm glad that I have filled out and I've marinated and I've matured into the fine woman that I am now.
You look really good.
Aged like fine wine.
Yes, you have. Okay, so we got to talk about The Family Business, and I'll be honest. So when I first started watching The Family Business, I was like, wow, this is the first time I'm seeing Lisa Ray outside of the color white.
Really?
Consistently, because you know, on screen you're wearing all different shades of colors. What's your fascination with white? It looks so good on you. You can wear it.
I am definitely not a virgin, but I might be an angel.
Okay.
You know, I say that all the time, but ting.
I can see it. I can see
White found me, really. You know, it was nothing that I said I want to set myself aside. I want to be, you know, trendsetter. It was nothing like that. I wanted to make it easy for me. I want to know what I'm wearing, and that's it. And now I've made it harder for myself because white comes in so many different shades. You have off-white, you have winter white, you have white, you have cream white, you know. And I know where everything is in my closet because I need to see everything, because my accessories is what pops.
Yes.
You know, the ensemble or the outfit. But it's been 23 years that I've been wearing white.
Wow.
It looks good on you.
And even when I think to myself, okay, you're going to buy this expensive dress because you're going to wear this. It may be leopard, it may be polka dots, prints, or whatever. I'm going to wear this.
Never happened.
And I never get to it. Never. So white it is.
It looks good on you. And I love the accessories.
And I never thought, having all the same color, hey, there's not really
nothing you can do with that after that, you know? So it's your purses, your shoes, your belts, your jewelry and everything that pops. So I'm normally accessorized, you know.
So then is it uncomfortable being another color? You know, when you do have to be
especially on screen.
I will say black. Black for me is hard. Black is like totally opposite from white, and I can feel it. But when I did Single Ladies, you know, that show was really about fashion, you know, and so they would put orange and green together and yellow and purple, and for me they would go, you like this? And I would go, you like it, I love it, you know, kind of thing. But for me, it's the white.
I forgot about that. Yeah, you did wear all those different colors. I loved you on that too. So let's talk about Family Business. You're Donna Duncan on Family Business. You guys have this car dealership, but there's a whole lot of other drama going on. What will we see in season 6?
It's a lot of dynamic. Let me say this. Season 5, you found out that I was my son's mother instead of his aunt. So now this season is about me really like reeling him into my side, because obviously I feel like I've been done wrong. I've been, you know, pushed to the side, and me and Chippy's been fighting, and nobody likes my character, you know. And it's so funny because I was coming out of a club in Miami, and this girl says, Donna. And I'm thinking, no, my name is not Donna. I'm thinking she's trying to say Diamond, you know. And she says, Donna, I hate you on that show. And I said, oh, no, you don't. I said, what do you mean? And I turned to my friend. I said, am I the villain of the show? She said, you think?
Yeah.
I did not know, because we film so separately till I just do my scenes with my son and whomever else. But I was like, I know I'm always fighting, cussing, fussing, do something, but I'm the villain? I don't think I like that. you know. But I think that because people now come up to me and they see a difference between myself and the character. So I like that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I always want to ask actors, actresses. How do you actually put yourself in that mentality to be totally different from your true self, and also having all these different kind of dramatic storylines that you're having to play out?
Yeah, you know what? It's if you stay true to the character, some of yourself seeps into that character. You know, if you're not giving that character a walk or a different accent or whatever, you know. Even Donna's tough spirit, you know, when I have to lose the fight, I'm having a problem as Lisa Ray. Because I'm going, well, wait a minute, why she always get to curse me out? And she always gets to say that she's going to whoop me. Why I can't? Do you think I'm just going to be standing here? And they're like, Donna would. And I'm like, Donna needs to get some balls, you know?
Yeah, yeah. When I watch you as Donna, I feel like there's a lot of Chicago traits in that character. Do you feel that way?
I think that because Chicago, we're right there in the middle, so we don't take no stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that I play those kind of characters, and I play them well, because in real life, I don't take no stuff.
Yeah, you didn't on the Queen's Court. I watched that, and it came down to David and Booker, and I was like, I'm happy she told David.
Look at you being a fan of the show.
I'm a fan. Oh, yeah, I watched. I was so happy you could kick David to the... He was trying to be too cool. He bothered me.
He always had a little, you know, reverb or a little, you know, little antic tactic or something. It was like, cut all of that out, you know, let me see you, you know, kind of thing. It was fun to do the show, though.
So I have to ask this as a follow-up. How is the love life now?
Where is that? Where is it? You know what? I lost my mom 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so for me, I had to deal with that. I didn't want to be heavy coming into any kind of relationship. And so now I don't feel that on my shoulders anymore. I feel lighter. I feel more focused. I feel good about the me space that I've created and my boundaries. And so now I could be ready, more ready than I have been in the last years.
Yeah, I'm sorry about your mom. Because when I saw that unfold in the media, you know, obviously we don't know you personally, but it felt sudden. You know, as a person that's kind of watched your life and watched you, you know, on TV, it felt like a sudden situation. How is it being a grandmother? Because you don't fit the bill of nobody's grandma, okay?
That is the best job to date. Seriously, I can't hardly leave the house without, you know, taking her with me or saying, well, I'll be right back. At 2:30, all my meetings need to be over. What are you saying to me? I can no longer hear you. I got to go. I got to make lunch or dinner. And I love it.
Did you know it would be like that? I mean, you're already a mom, but I think they say sometimes it's different when you become a grandmother. To Bella, is it Bella?
It's Bella Ray.
Bella Ray, yeah.
And you were right. I thought I loved my daughter. Girl, she can kick rocks. I'm telling you, that baby got me. She got me like this, but in a great way, because I feel like I have a second chance with her. And I am such a great example of what a woman should be in the household, where she sees me get up and I go to work. She sees me get up and I work out. She sees me drinking water because I'm flushing my system. She sees the beauty on the outside, but she's understanding what beauty on the inside is supposed to resonate. She is learning from someone that's in front of her, that millions of other people get to have me in a different way than what she has. And I'm giving all of that, all of it to her.
Yeah, that just makes me think of something that I've heard people say, you know, when you're a mom, there's no rule book. You know, you may not get everything right when you're a mom, but sometimes you get to redo some of the things that maybe you're like, I didn't do that right as a mom, but you get to do it over with being a grandmother. What else are you working on? So you got family business.
I do. I have family business. I also did a project with the same production company called Deb is Boss, and it's Waka Flocka's mother. She has a story of being a bad mama jamma as a manager years ago, and still is now, and I play her mother on there, and it's some deep, dark scenes that I had to go under, and it's very different than any other character that I've had to play. So much so, who's playing my husband is Clifton Powell. And we did this scene, and we just went off book because it just felt grimy, and I was just hurt, and I was just in the midst of it, and it was the best take. And I was so full of the character till after they called cut, it took me a minute to come out of it. And that made me say, that's the kind of character that you want to play.
Yeah, when I think about
looking
Deb,
forward to that.
I think she was on a reality show that I watched with her son Waka Flocka, and you're right, very tough.
Yeah.
You know, a very tough woman, but you have to be.
You have to be, because in this business they would chew you up and spit you out, which I'm sure any other business as well. You know what I mean? You got to hold your own, and she definitely has been doing that for years. So she's a strong character, and she had to have gotten it from her mama. So I played the mom. So
is that how you've lasted so long in this industry? Because we do hear that the industry, you know, will chew you up and spit you out. Is that how you feel like you've lasted so long? Kind of, you know, standing your ground, being assertive?
I haven't always stood my ground, because when you first get into business, you try to speak soft and walk hard so you can look like you know what you're doing. So no one will push you to the side. So you try to conform to what they want you to be. And then you're in it for a couple of years and you're like, yeah, I want to be me. And it's like, oh, being me is too much. So you're finding the boundaries of that, you know. And then when you've been in it for 20-something years, you're like, look, let me tell you, instead of you telling me, you know. So I've been here for a minute. So, you know, the professionalism, being on time and looking the part it has a lot to do with how people refer to you. And I am respected because I'm going to respect everyone that I work with.
You know, excuse me for, you know, if you've ever gone down this path, but having such a long, successful career, knowing the ins and outs of the business, it seems like, have you been able to do any like production, any directing, and do you hope to do that in the future?
I looked at directing, and I've directed a couple of things. I sold some stuff to TV One called Skin. I did something for BET as well. Directing is a lot more harder than just showing up on the set saying your lines, but it's totally different. You know, I have to be on set before the actor does. I'm doing scouting and location scouting, and I'm thinking, yeah, this is more work than I really want to do. You know what I mean? I thought that learning my lines was a lot, being on set for 12 hours a day in heels and sucking in, pushing up, and sucking out, you know, kind of thing. But really, it's both the show business, and so many times we forget about the business side of show. I like it all, though. I like the lights, camera, action, and I like to tell people what to do and how to do it, too, you know what I mean? So all of that means that I'll be producing soon.
Okay.
I gotta ask you this, okay, because I like to ask the tough questions. What is the craziest thing in all of this time you've been in this industry that you've ever encountered that you can talk about on TV?
Probably all and anything. I've gotten gifts that made me go, oh my God, you can't possibly give this to me because you're not going to get anything in return. I don't know you, and I'm not going to stay with you. I've gotten tennis necklaces, I've gotten little puppies and dogs, and I've gotten money.
It's the beauty. The
stacks of money that's like, and I'm like, what you want me to do with this? You know what I mean? Or what are you thinking I'm going to do for this? You know what I mean? Kind of thing. I've had women and men just cry when they meet me, and I thought, wait a minute, I know that happens when you meet Michael Jackson.
Right.
And Prince, you know what I mean? But not me, you know what I mean? But it was pleasant to find out that I have just as many women fans as I do men. You would think, being a sex symbol coming from Players Club, that the men is going to automatically come. But women kind of identify with me, and I love it.
I think it's an empowerment thing. You know, like a lot of women see you and they see a beautiful woman. And I think, you know, women that are confident can acknowledge another beautiful woman in the room, and it's like, you go, girl.
And that's what I felt about when I saw you guys here. No, seriously, when you all flipped it on and the voice came on and the professionalism, and I just was stuck for a minute. I said, look at them.
Well, thank you.
We have to say that you have such a light, you know, wonderful energy when you're coming in. You're stunning, of course.
Inside and out.
You know,
inside and out.
But we have celebrities come in, you know, that are not as big as you, and you know, it's just like this almost.
You say it. I ain't gonna say it. They gonna come back and get me.
Factor. But you're. I mean, you just have. You can see it in your eyes that you're real, and you bring this new energy. Do you feel like
it's a Chicago thing?
Exactly. That's my follow-up. You being in Chicago, do people who meet you on the street and get so excited to see you
and I do
the same
too.
way?
I do too. When I go to all of my neighborhood things, I went to Goose Island when I was here in July, and when I came through the door, he said, Lisa Ray, you still on the wall? You still on the wall? And I said, I better be.
And you didn't come here with the entourage, because we have a lot of celebrities that when they show up, they're showing up with 50 people.
No.
So that says a lot about you too.
That's too much slicing of the pie. You just
Yeah, it is. Giving all the money away. Okay, final question for me, Lisa Ray.
Okay.
If you had to pick if a man came into your life, right, and you're like, this
When
a man comes into your life, because you're not picking them, they're picking you, right? You're gonna impart, you want to pick them, or you want it to be both?
Both.
Okay, understood.
When you're ready.
Yeah.
What do they have to have? What is like top on the list?
I need him to be God-fearing, because I need him to be strong and be a leader. And I need him to feel like he's on a journey in which is going to be a spiritual journey. So that you rule and run the house that way. Then I need you to be successful as well, because I am. And I want more. I want abundance. And so I need you to want that too, so we can grow together and have that much more. And then I want you to be fun. You know what I mean? We're at a certain age where I don't have the responsibilities that I used to. I've done well for myself, so I'm a little freer now than I was before. I think different, and I am ready to ride the back of somebody.
I like that.
I like that.
Literally. Literally?
That's what I said.
Literally. Okay. Yeah, literally.
I'm
And
ready
you
to
know how
wrestle
many
and tickle.
times we've had someone say, like, you know, almost like a
Manifest.
manifestation.
Yeah, we've had a
into
lot of
this
people do
camera,
that here.
and it comes true.
Really?
Yeah, we have.
So whenever you're ready, huh?
Right there. Wait, which camera? Right here, 10.
Yeah,
that's your camera. There it is, right there.
Come on through.
Yeah, it's
Feel the
gonna come
vibes. Feel the vibes. There you go. Hello.
I love
Now
it.
everyone's going to be lining up out of the Fox 32
Yeah, you got to hurry up and get out of here
you
now.
got-
Oh, no, I'm staying. I'm staying all the way to lunch. No.
They're going to be outside. Okay, so Family Business, the new season premieres on October 23rd on BET. Lisa Ray, it has been such a pleasure being with
Thank
you
you
today.
so much.
We're so
It really
honored
has
to
been.
have
Thank
here.
you.
All right.
Absolutely.
We have much more right here on Chicago Now, right after this break.
Fox 30.
Okay, so from one sex symbol in the chair to another.
You are so full of crap.
Well,
You're so full of it.
Love you. You are no comparison to Lisa Ray. But
No one is a comparison to Lisa Ray.
Nobody.
You have beautiful eyes, too.
Oh, keep going. Oh, I love that they instantly cut to camera one.
Yeah, they did.
Thanks, they're my moms.
The ladies love
trying to
you.
give a little bit of-
Chicagoland, they always say, "What's up with Jake? Is Jake dating somebody?" I'm like, listen, I am not a matchmaker. Call Jake yourself. You got the number.
Don't call Jake.
Just DM.
Don't call Jake.
Direct message him.
You know what's a good date idea?
What?
Scary movies.
It is.
And
yeah.
that, kids, is called a segue.
It is.
That's how you get off the topic onto another topic. Do you guys like scary movies?
No.
No.
Why not?
You know,
Don't
like
Jake.
with a group of people.
Yeah.
Watch a scary.
Here's what I'll tell you, and
In my own
this
house.
sounds awful. I love watching scary movies with people who hate scary movies.
Ooh,
Because I love watching people
jump scares.
react, because I grew up on them. So they don't really, I love them, but they don't really, that doesn't really
work for as much for me. So I'd love to watch scary movies with you guys.
Okay, that would be fun.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
So there's one coming out on Friday.
The Black Cast, Phone
Black
2.
Phone.
Black Phone 2.
Black Phone. Black Phone 2.
Cast of them.
So it's actually, so it's a pretty cool thing. So the original came out in 2021. It was actually a surprisingly pretty great hit.
Okay.
So it's kind of almost Freddy Krueger vibes before he was Freddy Krueger. So basically it's this idea that there is a killer in this neighborhood in the 70s who is kidnapping kids and murdering them, and he's called the Grabber, and he's played by Ethan Hawke, who's a great actor. He kidnaps his kid, locks him in a basement, and this phone that is disconnected, it's been clipped, the cord's clipped, starts ringing. Starts ringing. And who's on the other end of the phone but the former victims, the kids who have been killed, who are passed, are on the phone trying to help this kid. Yeah, kind of one at a time. Yeah.
Get out.
Trying to help him give advice on how to escape the Grabber. So, spoiler alert, it's a 4-year-old movie. Ethan Hawke is killed. The Grabber, the bad guy, is killed by the end of the movie. So you kind of think, well, that's it. It's one and done. But here's the problem.
What's the problem?
Movie made money.
Oh, so
and a movie makes money, movie's coming back.
So
with a big giant red 2 next to it.
And apparently we have the trailer.
Yeah, here's a look. Part 2.
Y'all ready?
Any moment now.
Get ready for this. Be ready to be scared.
No trailer?
5, 4, 3, 2, cue. Maybe not.
Here's what I'll tell you.
Yeah.
They'll tell us when they got.
So he's back. The killer is back now, but he's kind of in like Freddy Krueger fashion. He's almost like a ghost. He's kind of haunting sort of these kids. And I had the pleasure of years ago. I was talking with Jamie Lee Curtis, and I wanted to know. You know, she's famously from the Halloween movies.
Yeah.
And so I always wanted to know, like, this time of year, does she just hate this time of year? And she says she doesn't hate it, but around October 31st, around Halloween, people will inevitably come up and go, hey, Jamie Lee Curtis, watch out for Michael Myers. So whenever I talk with the 2 kids who were the kids in the first movie and they're back for the second one, I wanted to know a huge thing around this movie is the ringing phone, right? The phone rings and you pick it up and oh my God, who's on the other end? So when I talked with one of the lead actors, Mason Thames, I kind of wanted to know, like, have ringing phones been ruined for you now? And here's what he said.
Do we have it? We don't have it. They're working on trying to get
nothing. I have a question for you.
Yes.
Why did they just not pick up the phone?
Well,
this is no context, by the way.
Sure, and the scenario of the first movie, it's beneficial to him to pick up the phone because you've got the, he's locked in this basement. He's got sort of this serial killer who's kind of locked him in, and it's at the time you're just trying to get out. Now it's but isn't that the case with any scary movie? Why are they running up the stairs when they should be going out the front door? The reason they're doing that is because if they didn't, the movie would be very, very short. But you know what? There was a TikTok challenge that was really interesting a few years back, and it was called the Michael Myers Challenge. Do you guys remember this at all?
I don't. I'll probably remember.
The premise was, it was this idea of, because we always laugh when, like, the girl's running from Michael and she, like, trips and falls. And everyone collectively were like, okay, come on, of course. But so what they did was they had someone dressed up as Michael and would just walk toward the girl. And the challenge was, could you get to a door with someone walking and unlock the door before he gets to you? And what they proved in that TikTok challenge was the anxiety of someone coming. It really does mess with your ability to do the most normal things, whether it's unlock a door, whether it's run up the stairs. Girls were tripping up the stairs. Girls couldn't put the key in the lock. So all of these things that we mock the characters for, I don't want to say we're scientifically proven to be right, but they did enough challenges, I think, collectively to make people go, yeah, maybe I wouldn't, be able to get the key in the lock.
I know for a fact I'd be the girl who trips. I'm
sure.
not gonna lie. Also,
I think
at some point your brain kind of turns off because you're so panicked. Should we try it?
Let's do
our
It sounds like a good, this is the month to do it.
Michael Myers
we should do it together. Like we all try to unlock a door or something crazy like
Done.
that.
There's a couple places where there's a lot of doors that we could probably try this out at.
I do have a question. So in this movie, The Black Phone Now 2, the voices that when the kid picks up the phone, the voices are they're kids, but they're like scary.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Of course.
They took me.
It's
Give
unsettling.
Me your kid voice.
It's
I want
not
to
the
hear
cute
what
story voice.
you would sound like if you were.
Oh my God! You know, I'm trying to think of the problem is that the voice that I have right now is already put on.
Let me hear it. It's got to be kind of scary too.
We're being shouted at by the producers. What, Adina?
Scary.
Okay, so we're gonna have. Okay, we got the trailer. Let's see what happens here. Let's go for it. We have the interview. That
Boom.
we did. Let's go for it.
God for the peanut gallery.
I know.
Curtis told me one time that basically every Halloween she has to prepare for this time of year because people around the year always come up and say like, oh, Jamie, watch out, Michael Myers is here. So I'm sort of curious to what degree have these movies ruined your ability to be anywhere near a ringing phone? Do your buddies give you a hard time anytime a phone rings?
That is a fantastic question. I can't walk anywhere with my friends without seeing a van and them going, oh, Mason, you better watch out.
The grabber.
Or, oh, Mason, are those black balloons? Or is that a black phone? It's great. I feel like I have almost just as much PTSD as Finney does.
And they think it's funny every single time.
They think,
like,
they think they're so funny.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit funny. But
Here's what I can tell you. I'm 37 years old. Those jokes are never going to stop. My buddies have been telling the same jokes for 30 years.
I mean, I'm proud of it. Proud of the movie, so I'll take the jokes. I love it.
You'll be on Black Phone 8 by the time they're done wrapping up those jokes.
Everybody keeps on talking about sequels. Let's get the second one out. You guys like the second one.
Oh, like you don't know you already have a great movie. You know, I'm gonna tell you, over the years, different actors.
Oh, they're cute. They have good chemistry.
Yeah, so they play brother sister in the movie. All right, let me in the spirit of that thing that you are, you know, sick of being, you know, brought up around. For him, it's like his buddies giving him a hard time when a phone rings nearby. For Jamie Lee Curtis, it's anything to do with Halloween. At this point, is there anything in the business where if someone comes up to you or like, you know, you're not the first person to bring that up?
Well, people always say to me if they meet me out in public, they're like, "You're a lot shorter than I thought from seeing you on TV," and I'm like, "Does the TV make me look that tall?"
Right.
I'm only 5 feet. I mean, I didn't know the
Are
TV.
you that short?
Yeah.
I have no sense of
my
height.
license lies and says that I'm 5'4".
Wait, does your license lie or did Tia lie when filling out the form?
I'm not a liar, so I don't know how they got.
No,
that.
you're not.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think honestly I'm 5'1", so people always say, "Wow, I thought you'd be 6 feet tall," and I'm
Sure.
like, no,
Sure.
sorry.
I get both.
Yeah.
I get you're taller than I thought, and I get you're shorter than I thought, and both it make me go, I don't know what that means. I don't know how to take that.
I've got it all. Taller, shorter, skinnier, fatter. Yeah.
Oh, I know, but I never told
You have not
Somebody
gotten.
told me
You're thinner in person.
Ain't no way.
I thought, or oh wow, like I thought you were a lot smaller. I was like, all right. It was a really old guy.
if
though,
somebody said fat to me in person,
he said you're a lot.
y'all have to call the cops
You're
on
a
me.
lot bigger.
They gonna meet
That's
Jesus
right now.
today.
They're gonna
But
be
I was like,
off the
bigger.
floor.
Maybe he meant taller, but he
Flow.
said bigger.
Bigger's
I think that was
that's
great.
never a
I
good.
think that was a great
That's
thing to say.
never a
But
good.
But they may.
He was really old, so
Sometimes
I'll
it's
give
the
him benefit of the
interpretation
doubt.
too. People
Yeah.
mean bigger, but mean taller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's
Nobody wants to hear that.
Or even like I gotta be honest, and I'm sure whenever it's said as a compliment, you know, sometimes someone will say like, oh, like God, you look better in person. Of course,
say that.
we're all such insecure television people that our mind clicks to. Wait, does that mean I look bad on TV? If I look better in person, do I look worse on TV? Like what does that? You know, what does that mean exactly?
I think if you've been in the business as long as we have, you just have tough skin and just let them say whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
thank you. It was nice meeting
cool.
you. Still take a picture.
Hey, how are you? Yeah.
An answer, but people are always like, "Oh yeah, your makeup person did really well," and I go,
Yeah. You guys get.
Why? Thank you.
Yeah.
It was
"Thank
me.
you."
Yeah, you guys get it. I get asked all the time about the makeup artists that we have.
Yeah. You put on makeup?
Yeah. How do you think he looks this good? I
No,
mean,
honestly,
he looks good.
I've never noticed him without it, so it makes me think you. I've always thought you didn't.
I'm like one of those like 1960s housewives. I just like wake up and go to bed, and full face of
Rollers?
makeup, baby. like Marvelous Mrs. Yeah, with the rollers
And all.
the nightgown.
Are you never put like touch of gray or anything one of these days in your?
I don't know. I look forward to.
there.
I look forward to the.
you will be.
I won't go gray. I'll probably go white.
No, white. Okay. Touch of
But no, I look forward to it. Bring it. I'm excited to. You know, it's still. Look, these days, you know, look, all my buddies were 20 years out of high school, and some of them, you know, the hairline's going back.
Yeah.
You know, it's
So we'll take
it's
what we
fallen
can get.
away. So I don't care what color it is as long as I got it.
All right, and don't forget to check out Jake on Saturday mornings anchoring.
Hey, that's me.
What time? What
That's
time?
me.
7
to 8:30, baby.
Say 8:30.
7 to
I was gonna
8:30.
say 7 to 9,
It's
but it's 7
definitely
to
a show.
8:30.
7 to
Okay,
8:30.
last question about this black
Does a
phone
good
too,
job.
because
Yes.
we're really going off the rails.
Yeah, oh my God, we're so off the rails.
On a scale to 1 to 10, I think people will appreciate this
How
at
scary?
home. How scary is it?
Here's what I'll tell you. It's directed by a guy named Scott Derrickson, who has directed several different scary movies. They did a scientific poll a few years back. They hooked up a bunch of people to a heart monitor and put about 50 different horror movies in front of them, and they gauged which horror movies got people's heart racing the most. He directed a movie called Sinister that came up about 10, 15 years ago, and number 1. That was ranked number 1. So he is the director of what has been scientifically proven to be the scariest movie of all time. So I'll just leave it
at
there.
that.
I'll leave it.
Black phone.
Well, here, okay, but it's tough because scary is subjective. You know, like there are 3 different people on this, and we all think 3 different things. Like, you know, I could watch that movie and be like, oh, it wasn't scary at all.
And I might be terrified.
Exactly right. Scary is subjective.
All right, Black Phone 2 in theaters October 17th. Jake Hamilton.
Hey.
Pleasure. Coming up next, we're talking fashion. Chicago Fashion Week. We'll be right back.
If you can't.
Back to Chicago Now. A surround sound of fashion returns for its 17th annual fashion show and concert this Sunday, October 19th at Sin City Studios, a beautiful venue, wrapping up Chicago Fashion Week in style under the creative direction of fashion director Rhonda Birdie Pulfus. Thank you for joining us. And we also, of course, have America's Next Top Models, Sharon B. Thank you very much for coming.
Of course. I'm happy to be here.
We're so excited. So can you tell us a bit behind the purpose of Surround Sound of Fashion?
Well, Surround Sound of Fashion is a motion picture that basically brings fashion to music. It was implemented to empower the next wave of inspiring models, designers, and music artists, giving them a chance to showcase and shine, and being able to put them in the room with people who have already made their mark in the industry. Also giving them an opportunity to grace the runway with national recording artists, well-established designers, and America's Next Top Models.
Right, like Sharon. So tell us, is this a situation where like you have a theme? So, you know, this is going to be, this area is hip hop. So now we have kind of streetwear fashion that's now hitting the runway. How does that work?
So we have a different genre. We have everything. We have couture, we have streetwear, we have casual. You know, it's so much talent here in Chicago. Why not showcase everything? You know, Chicago is always, I feel like we're kind of behind the scenes, but we have so much to offer. So we're going to give it to you all. We're giving it everything.
I love it.
You know, this is a question for both of you, I think, because it must mean so much to these, you know, this young talent to know that they can be in front of these big names, an opportunity that not a lot of people get. You know, do you see that show through during the show, how excited they are, and does it really pay off for them too?
100%. I think that's something that's really dear to my heart. You know, just giving people opportunities, giving aspiring talent and stuff in the industry, and specifically here in Chicago, we have such a rich, diverse talent, and I saw it first and foremost, like firsthand during our casting process. I was literally blown away by the talent that came to cast for the show. It was a hard selection, and yeah, they're very excited to be a part of it, and it is a great opportunity. The visuals, the experience of it all, because surround sound, it's not just a regular fashion show, it's an experience.
It's emotion.
Yeah, a lot of times when we talk fashion, people think New York, they think LA, and then Chicago's kind of at the bottom. But it seems as though Chicago really should be up there with them too. Talk about that. Talk about the important fashion scene that we have here in the city of Chicago. Obviously, just looking at both of y'all, you're very fashion forward. So
thank you, thank you. So again, like I said, to me, what we produce is not just your typical fashion show. It's a movement. I kind of look at it as a party on the runway. 3 things I like to do when I go out. I like to listen to good music, and we are giving you 3 of Chicago's hottest DJs, along with national recording artist Young Jock. Then I like to people watch. I like to see, you know, what's out there. We're offering you 10 of the top designers from Chicago and local surrounding areas. And then last but not least, we like to party. So why not do a little boogie woogie and on the runway? And we're gonna give you that experience. Like I said, Chicago is kind of low key in the cut. We're trying to bring out something that's different, extravagant, and you know, well worth the wait to see.
Well, the pictures are saying it all. I mean, it looks beautiful. So you're saying, like, even people in the crowd, they can do a little dancing.
Absolutely.
They can enjoy themselves.
The models on the runway, you know, we have a little fun. It's not stiff. It's fun. It's loud.
Talk about the opportunity that these fashion designers have, because in some cases, you know, especially in places like Chicago, there may not be a lot of places where this fashion can be shown. It can be showcased. Talk about the fashion that you're going to have this year round.
So first of all, I want to give a shout out to Chicago Fashion Week for just allowing us to be a part of this history. It gives them, like I said, the opportunity to be in the room with designers who have already made their mark, with models who have already made their mark, with artists, to give them a chance to mix and mingle, to showcase what they have, to sell what they have, and to just intertwine and be a family. So it's a great opportunity for our local designers and the ones who are traveling in to be a part of some history that's being made.
And I'm actually wearing one of them, Alonte Bo.
I ask you both about your outfits.
So yes, this is a Chicago-based designer, Alonte Bo, out of Chicago, out of the city, young man doing amazing stuff. His collection is absolutely phenomenal. He's one of the featured designers. Even outside of this show, I've always worn Alonte Bo. So this is just a prime example. Chicago does things differently. And to your point about like New York and the other markets, you know, Chicago, is a little bit more silent, but our spirit is loud. Our soul is loud. And I think surround sound really encompasses the soul and the heart and the culture that is Chicago.
Absolutely. Yeah, we had some Alonte Bo fashion on yesterday. In fact, some of their bags were just outstanding. We were like, wow. Gorgeous. Real quick before we go, I want to ask you this, because a lot of times we see models like yourself decide, you know what, I'm gonna go live in New York, I'm gonna go live in LA, and I see you around Chicago a lot, which makes me think this is your home. Talk about, you know, the space that's available for models right here in the city of Chicago.
Literally, Chicago is growing. I've been referring to it as a fashion renaissance.
Yes.
You know, and we've been growing in a lot of different areas and ways. And so it's just so a beautiful time to be back in the city at this time as this. And so it's an amazing opportunity for all of our talent, which I've been so happy to see all of the different models and stuff out there get their shine with the different shows and stuff, and it not being gate kept.
Absolutely.
I think that's the beautiful thing about Chicago is that that, like, you know, so many of these other industries,
Everything is a secret.
it's a secret.
Yes.
You know, certain people can be a part of it, or only if you're signed. But there's models here who are walking the runway, cutting it up better than anyone I've ever seen, and I'm so happy.
Real quick before we let you go, they just gave us the one.
Okay.
I mean, we gotta wrap it up.
All right.
Where can people get tickets?
SurroundSoundOfFashion.com. The show is Sunday, October 19th at Sin City Studio.
That is a beautiful space.
Absolutely.
It is.
I'm telling you, it's a perfect spot, and I'm seeing the pictures, videos. It looks electric.
And I'm excited to be hosting alongside Domity Congo as well.
Yes. And also, can we give a shout out to Chicago Stars for collaborating with us this year?
Absolutely.
Bringing back some of those wonderful soccer players, Jamani and Leilani. I'm so happy to have them to be back with us to grace this runway. So shout out to them for the collaboration.
All right, that'll do it. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Thank you so much for watching Chicago Now. Thank you for...
If this
Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at Noon.
And right now at noon, fence no more. The fence surrounding the ICE facility in Broadview is taken down. Tensions between the U.S. and China on the rise in the ongoing trade war. And let's take a live look outside right now. Wow, well, whoa, no sun as we track rain showers moving through our region. Hey, good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us here on Fox 32 News at Noon. I'm Natalie Bumpke. We'll get to the weather in just a moment. We start, though, with breaking news. Cook County's top judge signs an order barring ICE from arresting people at court. And this includes the city of Chicago, which has seen a federal immigration crackdown, as you know, in recent months. This has been a tactic for some federal agents who have been stationed outside the county courthouse for weeks to make arrests once their targets leave the building. Local immigration and legal advocates have called for an order like this, saying their clients were avoiding court out of fear of being detained. The judge's order takes effect today. And in related news, the fence is now down in Broadview around the ICE processing center. This follows another judge's order to have it removed just 3 weeks after it was originally installed. Gabriela Primus has more.
It is looking different here in front of the Broadview ICE facility. That 8-foot fence